All right, welcome everyone. As you are entering, there are some sticky notes. If you would, go ahead and grab those sticky notes, grab some pens. Welcome. As you're entering and we're waiting for everybody to get started, if you would just on a scale of 1 to 5, rate yourself. How comfortable are you in teaching your students about research and informative writing? And give everybody a couple minutes as we're getting in and we're getting seated. So go ahead and respond on that sticky note.
Take it in, but don't look down. I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting this long.
All right, I see that everybody has pretty much gotten in and gotten seated. So again, we're gonna take about 5 minutes to wrap up our sticky note question. So again, our question was, how comfortable are you in teaching your students about research and informative writing? Put our scale back up here. So if you're a 4, you're good. You feel confident. Maybe you've already done a research project with your students. If you're in the middle, you're like, I could learn more. And if you're a 0, you're like, oh, research gives me the ick and I'm a little nervous. So put your thoughts down. I'm going to give a couple more minutes now that everybody's in and seated, and then we're going to share out with the shoulder partner. All right, we are at the end of our time. So we are going to find a shoulder partner. That means someone next to you to share about our sticky note really briefly. I'm going to give a couple minutes. So when I say go, you're going to share with a shoulder partner about what you wrote on your sticky note on your question. Go. All right. As I was walking around, I heard some good conversations. I heard lots of positive, like feeling confident. I didn't hear too many icks, which is a good thing. So thank you guys for sharing. I just wanted to get your brains open and ready to talk about research. So first off, we are going to talk about a research tool today, in case you didn't already know, called PebbleGo. And as we get started today, I do want to share the agenda. As educators, just like our students, we like to know what's coming up next. We want to know after this, what are we doing? After this, what are we doing? So our temperature check, getting our brains kind of settled in that place of research was our question that we share with our shoulder partners, so we can check that off. We've done that. We're going to talk about what PebbleGo is. We're going to talk about why we use PebbleGo and how it supports our students and how it supports our practice. We're going to talk about how PebbleGo connects to our standards. We're going to have a brain break because, yes, also like our students, sometimes as adults, we need a little break for our brain. We're going to do a little activity where you become the student and you do some exploration of PebbleGo as a resource. And then we're going to have some time to collaborate with our grade level and grade span teams. So that's our agenda for today. Today's learning target, again, we always want to begin with the end in mind. So we want to think about where do we want to end up by the end of today's professional development. Our participants will be able to use PebbleGo to guide students through the research process to produce shared writing of informative text. So today we are focusing on how do I use this research to support my students' informative writing. We will touch on how it can help with their informative reading, but today is mostly focused on their informative writing. So we're going to talk about that. And this is where we hopefully will be able to reassess at the end and say that we met our target. All right. Just some meeting norms as we start off today. Be present. Be mindful if you do have a device, a cell phone or something like that, that you do have it on silent so that we can be present in the moment. We can be paying attention to each other. Be open-minded. I know as teachers sometimes we're like, oh, it's another tech tool. Do I really need to know about this? Be open-minded. It could be the tech tool that's like, this is actually something that I've been missing. I really want to learn about this. So just keep an open mind. And of course, be collaborators. We're all professionals. We all carry around our personal teacher toolbox. And how great would it be today for you to be able to grab some things from other teachers' toolboxes to put into yours. So go into today thinking about how to be present, how to be open-minded, and how to be collaborators. So those are our norms for the day. If you are good with those norms, if you could just give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right, we're going to continue on. So we're going to watch a quick video about PebbleGo and a little introductory about what PebbleGo is.
Kids are curious, very curious, and that's why kids love PebbleGo. An interactive curricular content hub specifically designed to fuel curiosity in K-3 students, PebbleGo has been trusted by educators for well over a decade. With more than 1,500 engaging articles and supporting multimedia, PebbleGo inspires self-directed learning while building foundational reading and research skills. And PebbleGo is continually adding new content and features, like PebbleGo Spanish for English language learners and dual language development that lets students bounce between English and Spanish at the tap of a button.
El Agustina tenía un cuello largo.
And for upper elementary students, there's PebbleGo Next, which offers hundreds of more in-depth articles that align with state and national standards and provide tiered instructional supports to help every student at any level. And now introducing PebbleGo Create, a new tool that's just as much for teachers as it is for students. PebbleGo Create taps into kids' creativity, giving them intuitive tools to show and tell what they've been learning from any article in PebbleGo or PebbleGo Next. This hands-on active learning can help students retain even more essential concepts key to academic success, while also allowing teachers direct access to their students' work, gaining real-time insights on their progress. With PebbleGo, PebbleGo Next, and PebbleGo Create, you have rich resources for every elementary student and powerful tools for teachers to assess their learning. PebbleGo, empowering educators, encouraging kids to explore. Learn more today at PebbleGo.com.
Don't want to replay. All right, so that was just a little bit of intro into PebbleGo and what it is, just kind of dipping that toe in. We are going to have some interactive time with PebbleGo. I'm going to pull up PebbleGo and show you some features. So that was just a little informative video to get us kind of thinking about PebbleGo. All right, so standard connection. As teachers, I think it's super important that we always connect what we're doing back to those standards. We find really great activities, we find really great books and things that we want to do with our students, and we get really excited about them, but we also have to make sure that we are connecting to standards. And so I want us to be mindful of the fact that choosing PebbleGo comes with those standard connections kind of built in. So you don't have to sit there and think, how does this connect? How does this connect? Those standard connections are built in. So some big standard connections here. So PebbleGo can support our informative writing about nonfiction topics. So at the emergent K2 level, our audience today is mainly kindergarten, first, and second grade teachers, because that is what PebbleGo is predominantly used for, is our emergent learners, our emergent readers, and our emergent writers. So helping to teach some of those informative writing skills and research. Also shared investigation and research of grade appropriate topics to build background knowledge and make cross-curricular connections. That's a lot of big words that I just read off the slide. So basically, when we are working with our littles on a research project, shared research, shared investigation, there's never been a world where we give our first grader a Chromebook and say, okay, go Google something. So when we think about shared investigation and shared research, we have to teach what it means to research. We have to teach what it means to investigate. And that is what helps us build our students into fact finders who can produce informative writing. So when we think about PebbleGo, we think about this as we think about this as a tool to help us teach research. So one of our standards for kindergarten writing is to participate in shared investigation. And then, of course, with guidance from adults. So this is shared. We're also thinking about teaching how to recall information and gather information from provided sources. When it says provided sources, our provided source is PebbleGo. We're giving students that as our provided source. So reading, when we think about informational reading informational text, that standard gets heavier and heavier as we continue up through third, fourth, and fifth grade. So getting our students familiar. Here the standard says describe the connection between a series of historical, scientific ideas or concepts or steps and technical procedures in a text. So thinking about teaching some of those skills, like when they do get in third, fourth, and fifth, and they are reading a historical, scientific, or technical text, how do they read a diagram? How do they read a timeline? How do they know what a caption is? These are all things that PebbleGo can support because our students are gonna get exposure of articles that have those things at their level, so that as the content kind of gets harder, they're going to have some of that background knowledge. So also writing, we have a second grade writing standard down here, writing informative and explanatory text in which they are able to introduce a topic and use facts and definitions to, using facts and definitions to support points and provide a concluding statement or section. This is our end goal. This is where we want to get our kids to. And in order to have our kids writing and using facts and being able to write a topic sentence and thinking about the main idea or the most important facts, we have to teach the research process. So those are three standards that can be supported by PebbleGo. Again, we always want to think about how it connects back to the standards. All right, so why PebbleGo? We've got some amazing use, some amazing features, and some highlights. So PebbleGo's primary use is to teach the research process to our emergent learners. It's easy to navigate. The database has many different facets that are good for our little learners who are just learning how to search for things. Some of the main features of the site, it's a huge database. There's thousands of articles, videos, ebooks. So really reaching all different types of learners. One of my favorite parts of the tool, and one of the things that I think other teachers will like, is that it does have some built-in accommodations that kids won't really know are accommodations. But for our struggling learners or our struggling readers or our ELL students, it does have highlight tools so you can highlight words. It has audio so the kids can click and it can read to them. So those are all things that are great for all of our learners, but can really help out some of our struggling learners, struggling readers, so that they can get the most out of the tool as well. All right, next up. Trying to get my slide to go to the next here. Okay, so why PebbleGo? There we go. All right, why PebbleGo? So PebbleGo can be used for, like I said, our ELL or our struggling readers. Some great things about it is that it does have those read aloud features where articles can be read to students. So sometimes when you have that struggling reader and you put an article in front of them and they're already a struggling reader, they're not going to have that motivation to be like, oh, I don't want to read. They're not going to have that motivation. So giving them that option and saying, okay, guys, today we're going to read about sea turtles. They can watch a video about sea turtles. They can read about sea turtles. They can listen to an audio book or read an ebook, look at an ebook about the sea turtle. So there's lots of different ways for us to present the information. So 1 and 2 there kind of go together. We're supporting all different types of learning or all different types of learners and giving that information lots of ways to stick. Because the reality is, as our kids get older and they learn about research can come from lots of different facets. It can come from them reading a blog post. It can come from them reading a journal from a database. It can come from them reading a primary source document. It can come from all different things. So when we think about our kids researching, we kind of have to teach them that it's not just one way, and it can stick for them in many different ways. One of the other things that I really like about PebbleGo is that there is extensions for our advanced learners. We're always going to have some of those learners who are like, boom, 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 I'm done with my graphic organizer, I'm done with my research. So there are some extensions built in for that. So you have heard me talk a lot about why PebbleGo is so great. Now we are going to actually jump over to PebbleGo, and I'm going to show you guys some features of PebbleGo. So what we're actually going to see here is a
PebbleGo Next.
I have the audio turned on. But this is like a browser, like a practice account. So we're not going to necessarily see all of the features. We're going to see like a sample. But I do want to show you guys a little bit about some of the features. So the sample that I have here is the bilingual sample, which is like what I was talking about, how we can support those ELL learners. And at MMA, as you know, we do have our Spanish immersion scholars. So when you're doing a research project on an animal, why not give your students more exposure to the Spanish language? Using PebbleGo, they can research in Spanish. So let's say that we want to research an animal. We can click here, mammals. I'm not sure why my pictures aren't showing up. Might be my internet. Oh, might be because I need to log in. Sorry about that. Let me do that. There we go. Okay, so take you back home. So let's say that I'm going to research about
Animals.
Mammals.
And I do have it turned on to read to me.
Wildcats.
Cats. Let's say that we're going to do a research
Tigers.
project on tigers. So here's my article, okay? It's relatively short. I have my audio here. I can have it read to me. I have tabs, so kind of organizing my information so it's not just one long article that our students see and go, oh my gosh, I have to read all this. It's kind of broken up. We've got glossary definitions that can pop up for our students that will also read the words to them. Down here, we've got some awesome stuff. So think about that kid who's like, oh, I don't want to read that. They can click on a video. They can watch a video about a tiger to have that visual learning. So that is a feature there along the bottom. They can listen. So that's super interactive, which I think is super cool. And then range. It talks about all around the world where tigers can be seen. So again, for those learners who are going to like read this article in 5 seconds and be like, okay, I'm done. There's things along the bottom for them to explore to get some of that deeper learning. So I'm going to go back out to the home. And again, I want to
Animales.
quickly show you that you can do the same thing here in Spanish. The other thing is that we can do, what just happened? You guys, PebbleGo just completely exited me out. That was fun. That was a fun experience. Okay. Okay. And it exited out of my presentation. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can get that back going. Nice little technology snafu for you guys. It's real life. Oh, we're not to our break just yet. Give me 1 second and I will get our PebbleGo. Back up. Sorry about this, guys. I'm so sorry. This is... Don't know. Get right back over here to my PebbleGo site. preview site. Again, real life. Very sorry about that, guys. All right, now we're back.
Ebooks.
Let's jump over here to ebooks.
PebbleGo.
Again, this is going to be a very short, small sample, but just exited me out again. I'm not sure why I did that. Let's try this one more time. All right, so anyway, those are some of the great features. Ebooks is also a feature. Maybe we can loop back to that at the end of the presentation. We are focused here today on K2 learners. There is PebbleGo Next, which is very similar to the original
PebbleGo.
but we're thinking for 3-5 students. So anyway,
Animals.
I'm just going to go back here and show you there are some features, question of the day, and games that you can have your students explore a little bit as well. So those are just some of the features
Science.
that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to jump back over here to our presentation. So that was a lot of information about PebbleGo. So we are going to take a quick break. Just like our students, we need a little brain break sometimes. So do what you need. Take a bathroom break. Get up. Take a stretch break. We do have a snack table over here. If you need a snack break, go check out the snacks. I'm going to start our timer, and we will come back in about 10 minutes. All right, guys, our 10 minutes are up. So before we jump into our back into our presentation, I did want to quickly just kind of recenter our brains on what we're doing on our purpose about teaching research, about teaching informative writing. So one of the things I like to do with my students when we transition or we're getting back into something is I like to do some breathing exercises with them. And this is one that we kind of started doing as a daily habit, so much to the point that there will be days that my students stop and ask, can we do some bubble breathing? So we're just going to do some quick bubble breathing together before we get back into our presentation. So if you would, just get yourself don't know why we went all the way back to the beginning of the presentation. I tell my students that it's helpful to sit up nice and tall, and so that oxygen can get to their brain so they can reset and put their feet flat on the floor. So we're going to do some bubble breaths. Here we go. All right. I hope those breaths helped get you centered and back ready to continue with our presentation. All right, so we're going to have some collaboration time. So we're going to break into groups. Each group is going to each group will complete a worksheet. So I do have some worksheets for you guys. I'm going to pass those around. And so you are now going to become the student. So imagine that I have given you a research question or a topic, and now you are going to go out onto PebbleGo and find information to complete the activity. So I've given you a username and password for you to use for your trial account. And you guys are going to use that trial account to complete your worksheet. After your group's finished with the practice activity, we're going to take a few minutes, reflect on how using PebbleGo went for you. What did you notice? And then as we come back together, as we're ending, on a sticky note, you're just going to write at least one thing you notice or wonder about navigating the tool, and we'll share out our findings at the end of our 10 minutes. So when I start the timer, your group is working on your short little worksheet that each group got, and then you are also going to just jot down a wonder or a notice before the 10 minutes is up. I'm going to start the 10 minutes now. I'm going to be walking around visiting groups. So if you have questions or you need anything, just let me know. I'm going to start our timer. And here we go. If you need help, I'm here. All right, so that was the end of our 10 minutes. I see lots of finished worksheets. I saw some good conversation happening, and I do want to hear your thoughts. So if I can have one member of the kindergarten team share out something from your Notice or Wonder sticky note. All right, can I have someone from the first grade team volunteer to share out something from their Notice or Wonder sticky notes? Awesome. All right, second grade. Can I have somebody from second grade share out? All right, sounds like we had some great feedback. So final thing that we're going to do today, we're going to spend some time with our grade level team. So kindergarten team, get together, first grade team, get together, or you can do science people get together, math people get together. You are professionals. You do what you think is best. But we are going to have some time to think about a research project or a research question that you could use with your class or grade level. I also included this link, which, whoops, I'm going to hop over to it really quick. So this is from We Are Teachers, if you've ever used We Are Teachers, and this article is actually brought to you by PebbleGo. So this is giving you a few ideas for some research projects for our younger learners. So if you were looking for a place to start or looking for a research project to I know one of the things that we cover with our ELA curriculum is green energy. So like if you're looking for something that can connect to something you're already going to do, a research project, this is just a place to start. You are not bound to this website, but I know sometimes it's like, oh, let me browse. That gives me an idea for something else to do. So I did want to include that. So I'm going to give you guys some collaboration time to meet with your groups, decide on a research question. Might have some helpful hints, and then we will share out about what we came up with. All right, so we had some time to talk about our research questions. We had some time to talk about our future plans, what we came up with. I hope you guys got some good collaboration so that you can walk away from today's meeting with an idea or a little pin in a project that you might do with your students. So we're going to revisit our learning target. How are we feeling about guiding our students through the research process to produce shared writing and start an informative writing project? So I hope that we're feeling good about our learning target. So our exit ticket / parking lot, we're going to use a Padlet today. The link is posted at the bottom. I will also send that out to you. I'll also send that out to you guys, but this presentation is shared with you, so you can also go in and click the link in the presentation. But our Padlet today is our exit ticket. So our Padlet, you are going to post at least one question that you still have from today. So if you still have a question, you can post that to the Padlet. If you have a research idea or a research question that you plan to carry out with your students, remember, we're all looking to pack one more thing in our teacher toolbox today. So if you have a really great project that you're thinking of doing, share it out. Somebody else might want to do something similar. And then something that stuck out to you about the tech tool. So one of those three things, a question, an idea, or an aha. So share out one of those three things on the Padlet. It's linked there, and it will just pop up here like a sticky note. So whenever you get ready, go ahead and just click the plus sign and start adding to our exit ticket / parking lot, and I will have time to go back and look at those. And that is all we have for today. Thank you guys for being great participants. If you have any questions or you need anything at all, you know where to find me. I've also included my email, my information. So if you guys have questions or you need anything, just let me know. and I will be glad to help in whatever way that I can. Again, thanks for listening today, and have a great day.